It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy with a quick question. Have you downloaded the Black Primacy app yet? If you haven't, don't worry about it. I just wanted to remind you that it is the number one way to find black owned businesses near you. Whether you're looking for food, fashion, or services, we've got you covered on this app. So download it now and start supporting black owned businesses in your area today. All right? Link in the description.
What banks do not want you to know. I know we've all been through it. Literally, bad credit. I had multiple foreclosures, bankruptcy, loss of job, all of it that totally affected my credit. And there were times when I thought that I was doomed. I just had to rent, live in an apartment, or live in my parents' basement. But that is absolutely not true. I was able to find out some amazing information about 15 years ago that I'm going to share with you today, because you do not have to worry about a bank if you want a house. Let's talk about it.
Noelle. Yeah, she can fix that. You gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that, yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that, let's fix that.
Okay, let's get right into it. I know you're thinking, I have bad credit. I'm never going to own a home, or homes are so expensive. Well, I'm going to actually share three ways with you that you can get into a home, that you can buy a house, that you can actually build an entire portfolio to grow your wealth, that I use to become a multimillionaire, that banks do not want you to know. They don't want you to do this. They're probably going to say, hey, but I'm here to tell you, Noelle Randall is here to tell you, you can do it. All right. Number one, owner financing. So I did not even know that there were so many owners that own homes that will do owner financing. And this works really great for owners that own their homes free and clear. There are tons and tons of owners that actually own homes, a lot, especially older people, that literally will let you buy a home without checking your credit, or even if you have bad credit, or maybe you're writing everything off, or maybe you lost your job and you just started your job a few years ago, and you don't have even a traditional way of getting your money. Maybe you switch jobs a lot, like Noelle did. Even when I worked, I would go from one company to the next company because this one was paying me more money. And a lot of times banks, lenders, they think that you should work somewhere forever, have this stable job, do exactly what they want you to do. But there are tons of owners, and many of these homes are literally vacant. Okay. So there is a way where you can get owner financing. So there is an amazing tool called Deal Machine that I have been using, where you can actually find lots of different deals. And so one of the things that I want you to realize is you can actually download the app. There is a link in the description box called dealmachine.com/Noelle. This will give you a free trial of Deal Machine, and you literally can start searching out these owners, okay, and literally having these communications with them directly. And so what we do, and what my brokerage has been doing also, is helping people find these deals, because you are going to need some down payment, but at the same time, you do not need a bank. They're not going to be asking for the tax returns, because a lot of times when you're self-employed, what does that mean? You may write a lot of things off. And so when they go to qualify you for those loans, you don't actually qualify because you wrote a lot of items off. You wrote a lot of your expenses off so that you didn't have to pay a lot of taxes to the IRS. But then at the same time, it looks like you don't make very much money. So a lot of self-employed people, a lot of people that work in the gig economy, a lot of people that switch jobs a lot, or recently lost a job and just got their job, they're going to have a hard time getting financed by a bank. But with owner financing, it is a completely different ballpark. They literally you can buy the home from the owner directly. They are the one financing you. You do not need a lender. You don't need a pre-approval. You usually can buy this home with just 10% down. Now, of course, you can't just have no money and bad credit, but in many cases, I can talk to you about where you can get that down payment from, so that is not coming from your exact savings and different things like that. I'll get to that in just a second, because like I said, in almost every scenario, you are going to need 10% down. So this is amazing, because again, it doesn't matter what your credit score is. It doesn't matter what you're writing off on the tax returns. It doesn't matter if you just started the job a few months ago. Again, you have the money. They are going to have this. They have the home that's vacant. They are literally looking for people like you, looking for people with bad credit that have some money. Okay. It's not going to be bad credit and no money. Again, though, I can help you get the money for that down payment. So you don't necessarily have to save all of the money, because again, it is an owner that is financing you. So they are not like a bank with an underwriter scrutinizing all of your bank statements, scrutinizing all of your tax returns. In most cases, they really just want a couple of months bank statements or one bank statement to show that you have the down payment. Some cases, they don't even care where you got the down payment from. As long as you have it and you can make those payments, you can get into that home. They are not scrutinizing you and underwriting you the same way that a bank would. So again, just to recap, owner financing has existed for many years. Again, I found out about this about 15 years ago, but the person that taught me was in his 70s and had been doing it for over 30 years. So this is not anything new. Additionally, you don't necessarily have to live in the home. This is a great way, again, to start getting rental properties if you want to do it that way. But again, I always suggest that you put on your own mask first. You should have a home that you live in, live there, then maybe turn that into a rental property. So owner financing, again, 10% down, usually owners that own the homes free and clear. Again, there are tons of owners that literally have no mortgage on their home and they are willing to do this. And you can use apps like Deal Machine to find these homes. And again, offering owner financing. That is literally a category. Again, you're dealing directly with the owner. All right. And again, there's a link in the description box. And if you use my link, you actually get a free 7-day trial where you can actually just try out the app, see if you're loving it. Many people do love it. I love it. And they can find these homes. All right. Let me give you number 2. Subject to financing. Now, this is literally my thing. I hope you stayed and you got to this because this is it. This is the thing. I literally love subject to. Subject to works for people, again, that are usually behind on their mortgage payments, what we would call pre-foreclosure. So they're in default. They have not gone into foreclosure, meaning the bank didn't take the house back, but they are behind on the payment. Again, once you get about 3 months behind on your mortgage payments, the mortgage lender will usually send out what's called a notice of default, and that is public records. And so you can search public records for notice of default. Again, use the link below for Deal Machine, and they already have these already listed out. And again, you can deal directly with the seller. You can let them know, hey, I can take over those mortgage payments. I can catch those mortgage payments up. I will continue making those mortgage payments and I will live in that home. This is an amazing thing to do. I literally was able to acquire a portfolio of rental properties doing subject to. We actually call it a system called TOPS, taking over mortgage payment system. And because it is a whole system, it's a way we do it. Literally, we close on the home, get the home in our name, and then we write a separate agreement that we're taking over the payments and that we will refinance out of their mortgage in a certain amount of time. 3 years usually is what we do. So basically, I buy the home. It's my home, but that seller keeps that mortgage and I make those mortgage payments as the new owner. And the amazing thing about this is 80% of all of the mortgages that are out there right now are less than 6%. So this person, okay, like I said, this is good for pre-foreclosures, notice of default. Owner financing is really good for free and clear properties. So you have a person, okay, they're behind on their mortgage payments. All right. That home is about to go into foreclosure. So what does that mean? They're about to lose the down payment that they put. They're about to lose all of the payments that they've made, and they're about to get kicked out of the house. Sheriff literally comes. Again, I have been through foreclosure. It is awful. And you, as the person buying the home, you actually stop that process. Your down payment goes directly to catch up those mortgage payments. And then you take over those mortgage payments and you actually close on the home and the home becomes yours. Again, if you need help with this, you need coaching with this. Again, there's a number on the screen. We can help coach you on how to do this because again, this is how I acquired a portfolio of rental properties. But again, you don't have to make them rental properties. You can get by your first home this way. In fact, I have done this for a home that I lived in when I lived in Texas. Again, this is the holy grail. Like I love owner financing, don't get me wrong, but subject to is even better. I've literally been able to pick up properties where I only had to give them $4,000, $5,000 to catch up the mortgage payments. And then I took over the mortgage payment. Sometimes the payment's $1,200 a month, $1,500 a month with like 4% interest. If you go to a bank right now, you cannot get these interest payments. You cannot get these interest rates. So they think A bank would want you to come to them, and that way they can charge you what rates are right now. But we have a situation where rates were so low for so long that there's tons of mortgages out there right now that people are behind on their mortgage payments, and those mortgages can become yours. And many of these people don't even realize what an asset that mortgage is. Yes, the house is an asset, but again, in many cases, they may not have a lot of equity in the house. And that mortgage that they have at 3% and 4% is a major, major asset for you. You can take over those mortgage payments. You are not showing your tax returns. You are not going to any bank filling out applications. You are not showing pay stubs. You are not even showing that you have the down payment, because again, the seller that is losing the home, they're in pre-foreclosure. They are in distress. So if you have the money to catch up those mortgage payments and you can show the ability to take over those payments, that's really all you need. It is not this long, drawn out process. And in many cases, it works much like a divorce. You know, two people are living in a home, then one person's living in a home. A lot of times the mortgage has to stay, and then they get enough time to refinance it, whoever the remaining spouse is. And that is similar to what is happening with subject to. Again, if you're not understanding what I'm saying, watch this again, or text or call the number below. We can help you. We can coach you. And again, this is how I was able to acquire a portfolio of rental properties without having to have a job, without having to show tax returns. And like I said, I'm going to even show you where to get these down payments from so that you do not have that as an issue either. Number 3, lease purchases. Lease purchases are different than those rent to own. So literally there are companies out there now like Homes for America or Home Finance of America that will literally do a rent to own. That is not what I am talking about, because in many cases they are just eating off of you. I am talking about, again, finding owners that are in distress, people that are behind on their mortgage payments. Maybe they're in divorce. Maybe they're in bankruptcy. Maybe the home needs repairs, and doing what's called a lease purchase. Now, in some states like Texas, they do not allow you to do a lease purchase, but what you would do is a lease with a purchase option, meaning you write a lease. I'm leasing this property. And then there is a purchase option, meaning I will purchase this home for this amount for a fee. If you decide not to then buy the home, you would give them that option fee. So it could be $100. It could be $50. You actually make up what the option fee is, and you negotiate that with the seller. So again, very easy to do. But what I really like about lease purchases or lease with purchase options is that you actually get to test out the property before you are committed to buying it. So I have done this in many cases where I wasn't necessarily sure that this was an area that I wanted to invest in. I would do a lease. That way, in my security deposit would catch up those mortgage payments. And then whatever the mortgages that they have on the property that's behind, I would then agree to make those payments. That was my lease payment. Okay. And then in many cases, I would even make those lease payments directly to the mortgage lender, because like I said, in many cases, the seller is behind on their mortgage. So I don't want to give them the money because obviously they don't be paying a mortgage. So again, you come in as the investor. And again, in many cases, I would recommend you come in as a business and say, like I'm a business, I'm, ABC Property Solutions, we buy properties for cash, and you offer them as an option. Again, these are ways where you do not have to involve a bank, because again, if you're leasing the property, a bank does not have to be aware. You're not calling the bank. You're not asking them for their permission. This is between you and that seller. But the key to all of this is having some money down and finding someone that is either owns their property free and clear, or someone that is in distress, okay? Someone that has lost their job, someone that is in pre-foreclosure, someone that's going through a bankruptcy, someone that's going through a divorce. And you can easily find these people in public records. You can do them yourself by searching counties, or you can use apps like Deal Machine. Again, there's a link in the description box, dealmachine.com/Noelle. That will give you a free trial. I strongly suggest getting that free trial and just trying it out, making sure that this is something you want to do, seeing all that is available, because it really is an amazing thing to do. And now you can deal directly with those sellers. So now let's talk about where you are going to get the down payments from, because you do not have to save the down payment in these scenarios that I just named. Business credit and business funding. You literally can borrow money in your business's name, start getting business credit cards, business loans, business lines of credit, do all of these things and get this money and use that money as the down payment, and use that money as reserves. So yes, you have money to make those mortgage payments, but if something happens, you have these reserves, you have this line of credit and it's in your business's name, not reporting on your personal credit report, things like that. Again, I have a link in the description box to Justin Merch Consultant if you need help with any of your business credit or your business funding. I also have plenty of videos that I have made absolutely free right here on YouTube, and you can watch that playlist for free. You can build business credit for free. You do not have to pay for someone to help you build business credit and to get business funding. And one of the things that I want you to know is right now is a great time to get business credit and business funding. Rates are still low. They still will give out business credit cards with 0% interest for 12 months, 18 months. You can get business lines of credit at 10%, 11%, again, in your business's name, not reporting on your personal credit report. You may need to have good personal credit scores because they may look at you for a guarantee or just check your credit to make sure you usually pay people. But again, these are business loans, business lines of credit, business credit cards. This is business credit. And then in these situations that I gave you, owner financing, subject to lease purchases or lease with purchase options, in all of these scenarios, a bank is not involved. Therefore, you can use borrow money for your business's name for those down payments and for reserves. If you went to a traditional bank like Chase or Wells Fargo or Bank of America and you applied for a personal mortgage loan in your name using your social security number and all of that, whether you did conventional or government FHA, VA, they are going to source where you got your down payment from, and they do not allow borrowed funds. However, if you are doing what I am saying and taking these non-traditional ways and dealing directly with a seller, well, guess what? In many cases, they don't even know where you got the money from because it's your business line of credit. You can put that money and write that check directly to them from your business. And that way too, it is now an asset in your business's name. Maybe you even use a portion of that home for your business. Maybe you're like Noelle Randall and you built a studio in your home and this is literally a part of your business. Okay. Many people have home-based offices or a home office or an office in their home. And so you really do have a business purpose. And this is amazing. This is legal. This is ethical. And this has been going on for years. Most of us just did not know that it existed. In fact, I have students and Justin Merch Consultant has helped so many people as well get business lines of credit, get business loans, $75,000, $100,000, $250,000. Well, guess what? You may only need, like I said, with owner financing, you need 10%. So if the house is $200,000, well, that's only $20,000. Well, if I gave you $75,000 for a business loan and you put $20,000 down, well, you still have $55,000 in savings in your reserves. Okay. And then if it's a line of credit, you are actually only paying interest and payments on the 20,000. So that's amazing too. So again, there is so many times when you do not need a bank. You do not need to fix your credit and have perfect credit or go get a job just to get qualified. You can be self-employed. You can write off everything. You can have your tax returns not showing very much income and still get the home that you want. There are tons of owners out here looking for you. If you go to Deal Machine, it's very easy to use them to find them, or you can search yourself in public records and start searching out these owners directly. This is a way that I literally became a millionaire, and I want the same thing for you. We are coming into a tough time in our economy, and I want to make sure that you are prepared. So again, if you need business credit or business funding, use the link, contact Justin Merch Consulting. Again, if you need help finding these properties, use the link, go to dealmachine.com, use that free trial. If you need help and you want to learn, get my book for free, noellsfreebook.com. Get my book, Real Estate Millionaire Secrets, that breaks down how to do all of these deals. And again, keep watching Noelle Randall's channel because I want to make sure that you have all of the knowledge, all of the resources, and all of the tools that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.
All right. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out the other content that we have on this channel. But before you go, I wanted to remind you again not to forget to check out the Black Primacy app. It is the best way to connect with Black-owned businesses near you. They need your support. We need your support. Link in the description.